everyone, happy Friday. For this Friday's paint along, we are going to do a project that is very quick, it's easy, and it's really beginner friendly. We are going to paint an entire page of color, and we are going to paint this using just 3 primary colors. So it's a really fun way to test the limits of just 3 colors and see what kind of palette you can come up with. So grab your paints and paint along with me. Now, the one I made a couple days ago, I used a pretty traditional yellow, red, blue. I was able to mix a wide variety of shades that all kind of live in the same family and relate back to those original colors. Today, I think I'm going to choose something a little bit different. Maybe we will do a turquoise color, maybe a magenta. For yellow, we'll stick with a pretty simple cadmium yellow medium. I don't need the rest of these. I will just be using a turquoise, a magenta, and a yellow. So kind of a different version of a primary blue, red, yellow combination. I will be painting on acrylic paper, and I have a disposable paper palette to mix my paints on. And so good news, you did not need 50 paints, you only need 3. If you don't have these exact colors, that's completely fine. Just choose a blue, a red, and a yellow combination that seems fun to you. We are going to use white to be able to mix lighter versions of the colors we're using. This is a totally optional step, but I do like to mix a little bit of acrylic slow dry medium and a little bit of satin medium into my paints to thin them out just a tiny bit and keep them from drying super fast. Now I'm going to use a medium-sized square brush, a brush with a nice flat top to make those square shapes. I'm going to start by just making a square of each color in its purest form. Now you can make these squares as big or as small as you would like. The smaller you make your squares, the more will fit on your page, of course, but just go with whatever feels comfortable to you. We'll call them like the parent colors, and then as we mix them, everything we mix will stay in the same family and relate back to these colors. After that, there really aren't any rules. This isn't a structured color wheel or chart, but there are a few tips that I have for you to help make this project successful. You can start by mixing 2 of your parent colors together. For example, I started with the turquoise and yellow to make this beautiful saturated green. If you like the color you mixed, try lightening it up with some white or toning it down with the opposite or complementary color. Think about making colors that cover a wide range, from super saturated and brilliant to more light and muted colors. Think about earth tones as well as those super bright and brilliant jewel tones and lime greens that you may not ever even find in nature. Most importantly, think about enjoying the freedom of mixing colors just for the sake of mixing. We aren't using these for a specific painting, so there are no right or wrong shades here. This is a great project to put on an audiobook or a podcast, watch your favorite show, and just relax and paint. This is also a great project for beginners. Maybe you just bought a starter set of acrylic paints that only came with a few colors. Usually in those sets, you'll get a red, a blue, a yellow, and some white. You might think you need to spend a bunch of money to get 10 or 20 more tubes of paint, but hopefully this is an encouraging exercise to show you that you can mix so many beautiful colors just from your 3 tubes of paint and some white. Plus, by mixing so many variations from the same 3 parent colors, they all tend to go together nicely because they have the same undertones from those same 3 common colors. So even contrasting shades like a pink and a lime green will look like they belong together because they are in the same family and mixed from the same colors. It's totally okay if your rectangle swatches get a little wonky as you paint. Mine definitely are heading in that direction. It gives this project a little more character. You might surprise yourself by mixing variations of a color that you thought would turn out muddy or ugly, but they actually look quite nice in contrast to some of the brighter, more saturated colors in your palette. So don't be afraid to mix together some combinations that might seem odd, or maybe you think you might not even like them. Okay, as I wrap up here, I'm really happy with this. I have a lot of unexpected mixes that I didn't really imagine would come from these 3 colors. So this is my finished page of color. I hope this was a fun and relaxing paint along project, and I'd love to see what you made.